Mass participation sporting events are back, including marathons, and many amateurs will do anything to hit their goals. But what if someone cheated in a race? Would it be a crime? I'm Daniel Barnett, a practicing barrister and presenter of the LBC Legal Hour, and this video explains when crossing the line is crossing a line. If you cheat in a race, are you really just cheating yourself, or might you be doing something fraudulent? Full details of the Fraud Act will follow, but first, consider this. In April 2018, London Marathon fundraiser Jake Halliday was stopped in his tracks 300 metres from the finish because he didn't have a running number. It had fallen off. It had fallen off at the 23-mile mark and had been picked up by spectator Stanislaus Skupian, who ran the final 3 miles of the course and was later photographed with his finisher's medal, which he described as a dream come true. But that dream turned into a nightmare when police charged Mr. Skupian with fraud by misrepresentation. Section 2 of the Fraud Act 2006 states that a person is in breach of the Fraud Act if they dishonestly make a false representation and by doing so intend to make a gain for themselves or intend to cause loss to another. Now the gain or loss in this case is clear. It was the finisher's medal. But what about the representation? Mr. Skupian didn't explicitly claim to have run the 26 miles, he was simply handed the medal when he crossed the line. But Section 2, subsection 4 of the Fraud Act is quite clear. A representation can be expressed or implied. And when crossing the line, Mr. Skupian was claiming by implication to have completed the course, and he knew that representation was false. The other fundamental component of fraud is intent. You don't cheat in a marathon and pick up a medal by accident. So the elements of the offence were complete. Now at court in June 2018, Mr. Skupian's lawyer said that at the time he hadn't fully appreciated he'd done anything wrong. He was homeless after separating from his wife and taking time off work following a car crash, and he'd suffered a temporary breakdown in his mental health. But despite that, he was jailed for 13 weeks for the fraud. And the severity of the sentence may reflect the view of the London Marathon's chief executive that his conduct could have damaged the event's reputation and the event's integrity. Now, Mr. Skupian's story is unusual in that it ended up in court, but reports of cheating are not unusual. In 2011, the third-placed competitor at the Kielder Marathon eventually confessed to having taken a bus. But crucially, he didn't attend the medal ceremony, which would have cemented his gain. Following Mr. Skupian's 2018 marathon, a thread was posted to the Runners World Forum dedicated to exposing cheats with inexplicable times. One runner was found to have completed 9 miles in 15 minutes. I can do it in 16. Not really. But for notoriety, we need look no further than Jason Scotland Williams, who in 2014 was dubbed Faux Farah after completing the first half of the London Marathon in over 2 hours and the second half in just over an hour. Not far off world record pace. He's always denied cheating and said it was down to hard work, and cheating has never been established. Now, the risk of humiliating public exposure is more likely than the risk of prosecution, but as Mr. Skupian discovered, a jail sentence is a real possibility. On a happier note, Jake Halliday, the genuine marathon runner whose place Mr. Skupian took, and his friend raised an impressive £49,000 for the charity Bloodwise. If you enjoyed this video, you might find my lawyer's guide to theft interesting. You can find it here. And here's another video you might like. If you want to know about future videos, please do subscribe and tick the notification bell to be sure you don't miss them. Thank you for watching, and if you have a race coming up, good luck. I'm Barrister Daniel Barnett. Bye-bye.